Hey, what's going on everyone? Codename Soap here, and today I'm going to bring you a review of the Razer Onza Tournament Edition wired controller. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoy, and let's check this bad boy out. Alright everyone, so this, as you can see before you, is the Razer Onza. It is a beautiful looking controller. So as you can see here on the front, you're obviously two joysticks, you got your D-pad, your Xbox guide button, and then you've got your A, B, X, and Y buttons here. Your start and select. Your start and back buttons are actually down here at the bottom, which can take a little getting used to, but once you are used to it, it is actually not that big of a deal. In fact, there'll be times where I'm gaming, I'll be playing, and I'll go to do this, and my thumb will slide off, and I don't wind up hitting one of these two buttons because there's just empty space there. So this D-pad, one of the first things on here is that it actually is 4 separate buttons. So you don't have to deal with that your standard Xbox controller, which has that kind of rounded, almost like a short, fat joystick type of button. This actually just has 4, individual buttons, which I personally enjoy. The joysticks are rubberized. I mean, granted, you typically have a rubberized joystick anyway, but these are much more rubberized, which I definitely like. They do have the divots in them, so they are sticking with the traditional Xbox style. They're not like the PS3 controller that has this much more rounded kind of top, but it does have a grip that somewhat reminds me of how these do come out of the box. It's got a nice set of grip to it, but this right here has much better grip. And what it has also are these adjustable knobs, which can increase or decrease resistance. And you've got a little stick here that you can turn to the right, and it will click just like that to increase the resistance, and then you can turn it back to the left to decrease it. What I've found myself doing is giving a bit more tension on my right joystick than my left for aiming purposes in first-person shooters. Bit more accuracy that way. The X, B, A, and Y buttons are actually lowered, and they have a much quicker response. They're very, low-profile buttons. I mean, they barely take anything to get these things pressed. I mean, you get to your buttons press, your press down's much easier, much quicker. The whole controller has a bit of a rubbery texture to it, gives it a nice grip. Now, onto the top here, what we've got are an extra set of bumpers. You've got your normal left trigger, right trigger, left bumper, right bumper, but you've got 2 other ones that you can assign or map to basically be other buttons. I use tactical layout whenever I'm playing the Call of Duties, and a knife button for me is B, but I can map it to where it's this button here. So when I'm playing, if I want to knife someone, I don't have to move my thumb off the stick. I can just press a button, and I can be like, shoot, 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 oh, knife, shoot, 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 knife. And you can map both of those by coming here to the back, and you have these buttons right here in the middle. You can assign it to basically any one of those buttons on the front. It's got a couple of little grips on the back. It's got a bit extra grip to it, which is really nice. The triggers, the actual stop, like trigger stop, comes out a lot further, and if you move your finger around like this, or like this I should say, you can get a much better response time instead of just, oh, I'm off the controller and I'm going at nothing. Controller's extremely lightweight. It's a wired controller, as you can see here. It's not bulky unlike the wireless controllers, which to me, after I've switched to all wired controllers, those things are bulky, heavy. They have the battery pack, which gets in the way, which someone like me, I have big hands. I mean, this is a controller in my hand. It basically gets dwarfed in it. Whenever I hold on to the back, my fingers here that aren't going with the buttons will get hit on those, the controller, the battery pack. That's a little annoying on wireless controllers. Your cable is this nice material, this like nylon weaved braided kind of cable, so the likelihood of this thing getting tangled up is actually pretty slim. You're not going to get this tangled up. So overall, excellent controller, excellent design. I will say, for a fan of first-person shooters such as myself, it is one of those things that I would recommend going out and buying, or at least trying out, and if you don't like it, you can always take them back to the store. They usually run somewhere in the neighborhood of $40, $50. I've seen some go for $60, but don't pay 60 bucks for a controller. I mean, really, come on now. There are a few, I guess you could say, flaws with it. This is actually not my first Razer Onza Tournament Edition controller. This is actually my third. It's because the first two broke down on me. The first one I had, the left stick, got stuck. Not physically stuck, but the input thought it was constantly stuck over here, like to the left. So, went back, returned it, exchanged it, got another one. And within, I'd say a couple months, the second one, A button, thought that it got stuck. And so it was just constantly like, if I was in Call of Duty, I'd be jumping up and down. It's just one of those things that, much like any other, product out there, it could break down. So just, be wary of it. Don't go thinking that the product is going to be a perfect thing. But so far, I've had this third one for a few days now. And it is great. The response is great. Everything's great about it. Another, I guess you could say, complaint I have is the cable. Not necessarily the material or anything. This is beautiful. I love this material of cable. It's just how long it is. So yeah, that cable is a beast. Well, that's great if you're sitting, like, across the room from somebody, or from your actual console. But for me, someone who, I have my entire gaming setup on a desk, my computer desk, and so I only sit like a few feet away from, controller all the way down to the actual input of the Xbox, and having that much cable hanging around, I don't like it too much. Other than that, the buttons do light up, as you saw at the beginning of the video. Recommend it? Yes, I do. Just be wary, just like purchasing anything else. But keep in mind, this is an excellent controller, excellent price, primarily geared towards first-person shooters, but you can use it in just about any other genre. I'm Codename Soap. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.